Be careful on those stairs, George.
Sunrise paints the kitchen gold. Another day unfolds. George, my dear, a word to say as you start your busy day. Those Filipino concrete steps, they're hard and big. A familiar daunting throne. Up and down you make your way. Listen close to what I pray. Oh, be careful of those stairs, George, tread with cautious, mindful air. Our American wife, she's making plans to love you till the very end. There's no end, only stairs in paradise. A twinkle in your loving eyes. Funeral funds are tucked away for a distant rainy day. But your YouTube channel shining bright, filling screens with joy and light.
Anyways, here we are, another live stream, another day, and we're going to talk about broke expats. And it kind of brought up the subject because we've seen several of them show up on Facebook and of course on YouTube. And it started with seeing Geo talk about this 35-year-old out there that's broke, that didn't bring any income whatsoever. And reminds me of the 90-day fiance guy. I don't know how old that kid is that was living in the Philippines, but they were broken without 90-day fiance. He wouldn't have had any income or money. And then they started the Sorry Sorry store. But the 35-year-old, same thing, no income or anything going on. And then lo and behold, there comes up an older expat with a way younger, I'm assuming, yeah, it was his wife. I'm pretty sure they're married, an Australian. And he had hip surgery. So that's who we're going to discuss today and show you like videos that we have on them. So
yeah, hey guys, how you guys doing today? Masanting abak mayang buntag. Yeah, actually, that's kind of like a. I know Heidi was joking about the stairs thing, but it's kind of like it's a real issue, believe it or not. Now, also be aware too. Again, the ones that Heidi talked about, for instance, like the ones that that's been on the spotlight, as it were, in YouTube. As far as, believe it or not, there's still some to this very day covering Eastman.
oh yeah, and they've really been nailing it on the Russian guy still. And I get that that's going to be there for a while, but yeah, they're just getting on board on the Russian guy.
Yeah,
Vitaly.
Vitaly.
But yeah, so that's what happened. The reason I started playing that video was George, be careful on the stairs video, which, sorry, messed that one up, is because the guy fell down the stairs. So he's already older. And I mean, the guy's old. And he, if medical wasn't going to get to him, which he did talk about, that he's on some medicines, he even showed a photo on his Facebook, how he's on medication, then a small accident could happen too. Like, I have fallen several times in the last 6 months myself, and I'm in my 50s, but the stairs are bad here. Some of them, I mean, we're probably lucky ours aren't that steep. Ours is a double
No,
set.
this is actually a very, very well. First off, it's a concrete stairs, because there are some rentals that you'll end up with wooden stairs,
which are scary.
And when Heidi says scary, you look at them like, will that? No, I'm not joking.
And George isn't a big person.
Yeah, you will look at them like, will that hold me? And two, some of them don't have rails.
No, some of them don't.
And this is not just. I'm not just talking about residences. Be aware that there's a lot of places in America, in China, in the Philippines, in Thailand, in Malaysia. Bottom line, most parts of the world, there's a lot of stairs that go up really high, and they're dangerous, but they don't have any. They don't have any handrails, so you can literally fall off the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, this is a common thing, and also, like Heidi said, like, the stairs. Well, you guys know, even in the U.S., that stairs aren't exactly standardized. What I'm saying is, some are really wide and thick. Some are really narrow that you feel like you're...
Once you leave outside the U.S., in my opinion, and even there, it's kind of scary. But usually in other countries, their structures are not exactly Europe, Middle East.
Well, then
Forget about
obviously
it.
U.S. standard. I mean, that's the thing. It's stuff you're not used to.
Yeah, inspections and the way they build it and all that. So, yeah, it's kind of so. Yeah, this guy has fallen, and let me show you what we got here. Ah, man, I can't believe the opening. I wanted to show that video. I guess it was on long enough. Cats are about ready to drive me nuts. The cats are climbing the curtains and stuff. They have been out of control. They were just good. I was just up and telling George this morning how good they've been. And nope, they're back up to no good right now. I think that's it. Bring in the video of the guy. All right. So here he is. He's from Angeles City. Here he is. And by the way, he put himself on Facebook, Angeles Expat Forum. Basically, I believe the surgery would break down to about 70,000. But it looked like this had happened last year. I don't know if he's back in the hospital again, but this appears to be recent. Even to the point he with his young wife, which I think's crazy. She quit her job to take care of him, and that's another thing. When you get this sick and you're up there in age, that's really hard on a young wife. I guess they've been together for several years, but this will really test the whole situation here. Because evidently he had issues with his air conditioning a few months ago, and now he has these heavy duty bills, and she quit her job. So any incoming source of income is now kaput. And so he's people told him to get a GoFundMe, and I'll go through his page, like where there were comments made and everything. But yeah, he's got a very young wife. She's got to be is it a third of his age? If she's in her mid upper 20s to the guy's in his 60s or 70s. So thought I had. So I forgot to add the photo. So dang it, dang. So I'm just not with it. So I forgot. So yeah. But so I guess I have photos, and once again didn't get them in because it was a last minute live. So okay.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, MB, our very loyal customer, as it were. MB, hello, Philippine Antics Squad. Tony Man, hey, Tony, good
what's
evening,
going on, Tony?
everyone. What's up? Black Grandpa, shout out from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. It's been a while.
What the hell?
Chosen ones, electric slides, and electric slides out. Wow, man, the electric slide. I don't know how that became a wedding staple, but sure is. David Kelly says, "Good morning, loud and clear." The prologue had a storm cell earlier today, lightning shattering window, then gone. That's Philippines. Now, I believe you guys can experience this type of weather somewhere in the Midwest. And wait, no, he's not. This is not a joke when he says lightning shattering window. Like literally, it's like a cannon being fired next to you, and it's really, really loud and scary. And then the literally the earth shakes when this happens.
Lightning in?
Yes, but like I said, some of you may
Yeah.
have experienced this in the Midwest. It does happen occasionally, at least somewhere in this area. I'm not quite sure if other areas experience it or don't experience it at all. But in our area, in between, in the Pampanga area, this does happen. He's in the Polog, so he says he experiences there too. Hey, Curtis. Good morning, gang.
Good morning. You guys say you can hear us okay? Surprised.
Tony Man. Oh, Tony Man says looks like he isn't missing any meals. Let's take a look at him. I
Oh,
see. I
is his
see.
stomach
I
bloated? That
see
would just be
where you're talking
common.
about. Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, no,
for
no, no, no,
me
no. I
being,
mean,
chunky, I would say he's not exactly fat. I'm the one not missing a meal. He's
no,
not.
no, no. He's just during that age. You kind of like
Get bloated around the stomach.
correct.
And that's just heart issues. So when you see somebody that's got skinny legs, skinny arms, and their stomach's all bloated out, there's usually other issues going on. So It's just that age where the guys get to be. I'm trying to get the
Hey, reboot at 44. Good
hey,
morning.
what's going on?
No income is a suicide in this country. Now,
Especially when you give it up to, and she gave it up to go take care of them.
that's and the problem with that is okay. Is the income? Is it the income? Not really. And again, God bless the Filipinos that take care of their expat partners that are disabled in that manner. And what I'm saying is, for example, first off, the money. Okay,
I'm letting you guys know I'm in raw form because I got a whole bunch to say about this shit today.
yeah. Now the money. Okay. Well, again, the the partner, whether it's male or female, doesn't matter. The fact that again the partner has to, or the Filipino has to quit their job to take care of you in this instance. First off, that's a double negative. And why is it a double negative? One, income. Two, socialization. They cut ties with their friends because they have to dedicate their life for you to take care of you. Now, a lot of these Filipinos, and again, it doesn't just apply to Filipinos; it applies to a lot of you know ones that are with the expats. Um, they they didn't plan on signing up to be a full time caretaker. If that
I
makes
can't
any
believe
sense.
she signed up with him at all.
Shots fired! Shots fired! But anyway,
I'm sorry. I told George I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
hey,
man.
hey, there's always
Are you
something
talking
called
about-
true love.
All right.
True love does exist.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then yeah, I mean, I guess I dated an older guy too, but I mean, if he had a bad day and lost all of his limbs, he had enough to have somebody hired in and take care of him and stuff. I don't know.
Well,
And at least he was good looking. I mean, there's a limit with there is a limit.
hey, that
So-
sounds very superficial.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. If I'm here and I need somebody because I don't have income, which I'm gonna say 80% of these girls, that's why they hook up with these guys. They need to be realistic. Then I'm gonna be down on Walking Street, swallowing fucking hard.
So what you're saying is, if I
Sorry.
fell down the stairs, scraped off my face, then you would leave me.
No, we have income coming in.
Yeah, but you said, at least he was good looking.
You're okay.
What I'm saying is, it means it, superficially it matters, I guess. But anyway, again, we're not talking about superficial stuff here, but reality is, again, most of the time your Filipino partner, male or female, did not sign up to be a full-time caretaker. And if they did, then obviously you're not with them for that reason. You're with them for them to be your caretaker and not your partner. And there's a difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? And this is them. I mean,
This guy is rough.
I mean,
This guy is rough. I'm not in the mood today. By the way, if I didn't mention, I have been sick for the last couple days, and believe me, when I'm not feeling good, everybody's going down. George knows that. And when I seen this guy yesterday talking about he's broke, and then this 35-year-old guy, I just jumped up and I'm like, holy shit, another one. But here's the thing: it could happen to me.
okay, let's.
I bet he ends up with the GoFundMe page real quick.
In all fairness, okay, again, and a lot of you are probably thinking this again. First off,
Yeah, let me know. Make a comment, guys. Are you guys getting tired? I mean, we're going to be covering like an array of things. Like it's time to get back into the drama a little bit because we just seen where this guy was whining that everybody's coming down on his relationship. He still looked older than that girl, but they're linked to these other channels that are only showing their women in bikinis, and he's going on about this and that and how everybody's hating on him and all that, and he's saying it just for content. And then he turns around and says, hey, but I just put a house in her name. Andy bought her a motorcycle and all that and said she was low maintenance. I was like, that
Genius.
ain't low.
no,
That ain't low
this guy
maintenance
was
at this
talking about
point.
that his
And then he's
partner's
gonna
low
go broke.
maintenance, and she's got gold chains, and she always has makeup on. always is dressed up to the nines, like going clubbing. I'm not kidding.
It's
And I'm
because
like,
they
wait,
are. She says that. She talks about how they drink all the time,
yeah,
but these
that's
never
not low
end.
maintenance. That is not
They
low
already broke
maintenance.
up. So we'll be covering them because they already broke up. And as soon as they broke up and got back together, he already put a house in
She
her
already
name. And
fleeced the sheep.
I just don't know.
Meh, meh. Just
I
like every other expat out there. Meh. I'm kidding.
I don't know, but when I see, and by the way, like I said, this guy's here in Angel City, an Australian guy, but
Okay, but again, like I said, in all fairness, let's talk about again what half of you are thinking. And keyword
yeah, let me
half.
know what you guys are thinking. I'm sure this will all work out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's play devil's advocate. For half of you, or they're thinking like, why is she with him? She's only with him for his money, yada yada yada.
Yeah, you didn't have a whole
Okay,
lot.
I'm
It's
not
love.
I'm not talking about that. Well, that's why I said it's love, but I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is, let's say it is love, okay? And again, you have to realize that the mechanics is simple. You're disabled. You're not exactly in great shape, obviously. You're in worse shape in your life,
And now he's
obviously.
double worse shape that he
Well,
fell down them
that's what I'm saying.
stairs.
And then you have this girl who's obviously of not the same caliber as this gentleman is. Again, no offense to the guy. I'm just saying age does matter. It does matter.
It does.
I
With
mean,
that kind of age gap, I'm just saying what other people are thinking, and then you're going to get a bunch of people that are going to say, "Oh yeah, but age gap does work out." Yes, sometimes it works out, but when you have this much of an age gap, there are going to be issues and problems. And usually when the money goes, the girl goes. That's whether it's in America or Russia or anywhere
well,
else. And
even
then you have that kind of age gap where someone that young has to take care of him
that's
already.
what I'm
That is
saying. Let's say the money's there. Okay. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Again, it's half of you are thinking this already.
my cookie.
What I'm saying is, let's say the love is there. Let's say the money's there. But
Medical's different.
okay, well, let me finish here. I'm talking about this woman again. Obviously, is not of the same caliber as he is. No offense to the guy, because I know my limits. I mean,
Yeah, I know mine.
if you're old, you're old. I'm sorry. Don't
I
expect
wouldn't
to.
touch him with your body
Well,
parts.
what I'm saying is, again, even at good circumstances, if let's say you're in perfect health at that age, and that girl is at that age,
I'm sure it was his charisma.
well, that's what I'm saying. And then now she has to take care of you, and then at her age, you really don't think that she's going to be looking at herself like, what did I get myself into?
Oh, I'm sure she is.
What am I doing? I could be doing much better than this.
Oh, she will. I mean, sorry, when she's, I mean, unless it's like I am now where I just want to take a nap all the time, but I'm at a certain age. So then you're like, I'll take care of my
Be like
man.
that.
And oh, sorry, I'll just take care of my man and all that. And then, and she doesn't have to work and this, and that. But remind me, I mean, the Australians don't have super huge pensions usually, do they? And don't they usually have to live back in?
6
Didn't we go
months.
through that? Yeah. So I don't even know what kind of money or where it's coming from to begin with. So he's probably burning through savings.
Oh yeah, this is not an American dude. This is an Australian dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So
He's an Aussie.
yeah. So there's a. You take that. Yeah, so let us know because I mean, and like I said, this could happen to any of us, and medical is going to be the one thing that wipes you out. And for this guy, it's kind of like me. My medical is just getting by. What I fear is tripping and breaking a bone where it needs surgery or something, or falling and needing hip surgery. At least I have some insurance that covers here, and I still have oh shit money to pull myself back to America if I'm able
And
to.
for those
Maybe
guys
not in that
again
case, but
who play into the alpha, beta, zeta role, whatever. What I'm saying is, because some of these people who play the alpha card, whatever. What I'm getting at is it's pretty much ingrained, especially in the Philippine culture, maybe even in the U.S. That I'm talking about this particular instance that the guy is disabled and she's a caretaker now. It's ingrained in most women in the Philippines, and again, even the U.S. Guess who the protector of the home is? It's not going to be her. It was never her, not in our culture. So what I'm saying is, do you think that she would feel secure with this guy? Because that's the thing. It's very basic human need for a woman to. Again, I'm not being, um, playing the sexuality card here. I'm saying it's ingrained in our culture, specifically in the Philippines, that the woman is looking for protection from the man. The man is the man. It's still a patriarch. It's a okay. In all honesty, the matriarch is still really the boss. We all know this. However, the man always has to feel like I'm the man. I got this. Oh, I'll take care of you. You know that kind of deal. And
That's true. George does try every now and then.
so you know what I'm saying. And if
Uh,
even if in a subconscious level, the woman's gonna feel like, man, this guy can't do anything for me other than the money.
well, in this day and age, that's why I was starting to say there are more of the modern couples. I'm not my mom or my grandparents or something where that roles are there. And I know they're changing, but Christ, the girl's got to be in her late 20s, maybe. And you would, I don't know. Sorry, I'm gonna call it like it is. That's just pure desperation at that point. There's some I cannot. I mean, I can't even imagine having to fall on. I don't know. It's just it's happening over and over and over again where these girls. I mean, there are entire parties that go on with expats here where they're all trying to pass girls off on their friends and this and that, and it's
Yeah, and also let's go into the injuries. Okay. Now I've had my fair share of scraps and accidents and jumping off like literally second stories and stuff like that. Yes, I used to do that a lot. What I'm saying is, I'm used to falls and all that kind of stuff in fights, even with baseball bats and stuff like that. No, really, it's very common. I'm not the armed one, but anyway. Point being, I'm used to scrapping and I'm used to like doing all these stunts, as it were, parkour. And what I'm saying is, once I hit that certain age, I had to stop because one time I literally fell and it hurt and it never stopped hurting. What I'm saying is there's an age in your life where your body just stops. You know what? I'm done. I'm done healing you. You're on your own.
hmm,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You will hit that stage where your body's gonna not regenerate like it used to be. Your bones are not gonna heal. Your musculature are not gonna heal the same way. And I have,
Cats.
again, experienced injuries that I still experience the pain to this day. And these are years ago. And what I'm saying is, this guy, again, I feel bad for him because I feel it. I get where he's at. I know, I mean, sure.
Part of it goes out the window for me, considering that they both know. I'm sorry, at some point it couldn't have been forever in any manner, whether it was financially, something medically happening to them, you know, it should not be based on, you know, I don't know. Marriage and relationships have to be built on multiple things.
Well, it's
And
it's a lot of little things, and we don't know the full story of what exactly happened. And what I'm getting at is, make sure you don't get yourself in that situation. For example, we have steps in that leads to our house, right? We did put like a grip like mat. That way,
I don't fall again.
Heidi
So
does
I
not
already
slip and
did, so
fall.
I know.
Ironically, the mat came off, but the tape that held the mat stayed, and that's actually helped us grip.
Looks like shit, but it works now.
Right. It still
Kind of
works.
like
You
me,
still don't
but
slip
my mouth
anymore.
still works.
Point being is, we made an effort to make sure it's not as dangerous as before.
You missed that one.
So if it no, not really. Now, for example, if it's stairs that go up and down and the light is out, fix that light. What I'm saying is, don't put yourself in that situation that you may or may not fall. Don't.
Kind of like when there's a
Eliminate it.
plastic chair somewhere here in the Philippines or in the mall, and then you just take that chance and sit on it, and then the expats fall through it because they're too big for the chair. Just don't do that. So,
Yeah, no. It's kind of a joke, but not really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the guy on here. We'll use his first name, Lawrence. It says he was released from the hospital yesterday. So here's my deal: as I'm to understand, this happened a while back. Like he slipped and fell, and she's just been taking care of him. He hasn't been able to afford the surgery or whatever, but it does say that he did. So the ambulance and the surgery said that it was badly fractured and hip needs replaced. Now, as I'm to understand, it's possibly 400,000. He put 4 million. I think his where the guys lay up on the. But anyways, it had to be 400,000. So he goes. So it looks like I won't walk again. So this was as of a day ago. He put this on there, and so in saying that, she was already taking care of him and not working. Well, here he is saying that he's not going to walk again. So that means he's pretty much bedridden. And so that
Well-
also means if he's bedridden, it's going to be really hard for him to make it to the bathroom.
No,
So
this
he's
is-
totally
this is-
bedridden.
Yeah, it's a serious issue. It's gonna be. We're talking about wheelchair bound here,
Maybe.
and we're talking about they can't. Well, first off, again, the problem is it's
Because a lot of the places are too small for a
Well,
wheelchair to move. And
that's
his place
one.
is little.
and transportation. He's pretty much stuck at home. And remember, again, a woman at that age, there's okay. Again, I'm going on the side of love here. Even true love,
Which happens. I mean, I'm not saying
even
it
at
isn't.
true love. What I'm saying is, at that age, she's stuck,
Hmm.
and you
And
guys.
she's too young to feel that. Like me, I'm like, okay, I'm stuck
Well,
with
that's what I'm
George,
saying.
but
Even at
damn, I'm
true
just
love
too
level,
old to start
she
over.
is stuck at that age, and that's a big.
She's too young,
Yeah,
psychological. Because it's
Yeah.
kind of like us. You have to decide after us being together over 5 years, even at this point and at our age, we love each other. But then let's add in a bunch of other
Yeah, she's
factors.
stuck.
Yeah. But at that point, she's too young to feel
And
stuck.
I'm
There is
sure-
not that much love
and
in the
ag-
world.
yeah.
There could be a perfect couple. I mean, I'm sorry. Both me and George have been married before. We probably both thought that marriage was forever. But I'm going to tell you what, when I was in that first marriage, I was at some point, I was like, oh no. So after I already mentioned this, after he cheated on me, I was like, yep, that's it. And so at that point, I decided to move on.
Right.
And
Well,
I wasn't, I mean, and even some people stay after the cheating part of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to. I'm too young for this. And, but there's other points of marriages. There's just like a total breaking point. And so this with the medical issues would definitely be enough to.
Right. And again, I'm not talking about like cheating or anything here. I'm just talking about.
By the way,
Well,
I was pregnant when he did that. So,
I was talking about moving on. What I'm saying is, even
Which
half
makes him
of
a
the
piece of
population
scum.
in this chat right now, half of you guys or girls, will agree. Okay. What I'm saying is, half of you guys and girls, okay, will go out with this woman in a heartbeat. Okay. I said half.
oh, probably all of them. Are you even kidding me right now?
No, I said guys and girls. Again, no. I mean, not.
I mean,
She's not everybody's type. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying you can be
if they're
Angelina
looking to
Jolie
date,
and she
no,
cannot be your type. I honestly, I don't find Angelina Jolie attractive. To be honest with you.
I do.
Well, my point is, again, type is a type. So what I'm saying is, half of you guys or girls will go out with her, and what that means is she has a lot of opportunities and chances to, you know what, I'm done. Let me move on. I'm not saying that's what she should do. I'm not saying that. But remember too, this does not only affect her psychologically. This affects him because he's like, I'm holding her back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, there's going to be a lot
he's
of.
gonna be thinking, man, I'm holding.
I'm
her back.
thinking that now. George knows that I was diagnosed with lupus and it's pretty severe. And with all my medical conditions, sometimes I feel when we have our fights or I'm getting upset with him, I've already told him, you'd be better off doing this and that. It's actually come up. Okay. So even with my lupus, it's become so severe. And with what's been going on with me, I'm about ready to. I know. Not today.
Yeah, I know. See, she's the one who pushes me away. Believe it or not, but
Yeah, George already went out this morning.
oh yeah, you even got your stuffed toy with the fake Ferrero Rochers.
Yeah, he got me stuff for Mother's Day already. I'm the mother to all of his cats. But yeah, I wasn't. Let's see. So look at that.
I got Hornswoggle. These are not Ferrero Rochers. These are like wannabe Ferrero Rochers.
Yeah, but it's really cute. It's one of my favorite toys. And yeah, so he just went out this morning, said he had to pick up a couple different things, and he came back with all kinds of stuff. He came back with Jollibee breakfast, and these are my favorite. We like the cheese.
Japanese cheese.
Yeah, Japanese cheese. And so it was a good morning this morning.
Yeah.
But I've been down. I think I caught something. I don't even know what I caught, but I've been sick for a
we've
few
been
days.
out, and doing stuff, and it's possible she picked up something.
It's
The only
been
reason
bad.
why I said she did,
And we had a
because
12-hour power outage
she's
yesterday.
experiencing symptoms that I'm not, or it could be just her lupus.
Yeah, it could
We
be
don't
all
know.
the
We don't
above.
know. Because she asked, like, "Are you feeling this? Are you feeling this?" And I said, "No,
No,
I'm
I've been
fine."
down. It feels like
Yeah.
what do they call that? What do they call that? The mummy's revenge, or they got another name for it when it's coming out both ends.
Anyway,
Kind of like George's
I haven't
face.
heard that in a while.
Did you hear me? I was trying to throw.
Yeah, I know. You're trying to throw me
Under the bus. I know.
Not
Hi,
under the
baby.
bus. Throw me
Come
down
here.
the stairs. Curtis says election time in Mindanao province. I'm homebound until after elections. It's election season, and it's when I say horrible, these vans. Oh my gosh, they play this
They started.
loud
They started at 4 in the morning.
jingles about their candidates, and oh my gosh, it's so.
Did I say
annoying.
4 in the morning? 5:30 in the morning. I am not awake. I've been up. We
The
had
Philippines
the
start
12
at
hours.
5, just so you guys know.
This guy up the street breaks every freaking rule, man. Every freaking rule. And here's the thing. Of course, we haven't mentioned his name, and I don't think he's watching my show. And honestly, I don't care if he knows who I am. But in my opinion, he's running for a position that doesn't even mean a whole lot. He's just doing it to be narcissistic.
No.
He's doing
that's
it
not how
for
it
clout.
works.
Sorry,
not how
you
it
know how much that
works.
position pays? I know how much it pays.
That's
It
not
doesn't
how
pay
it
no
works.
money. So he's running for, which I know a lot of
You never
politicians
run
do.
for politics for the money. It's kind of like presidents. Go look up. It doesn't matter what country it is. Go look up their salary. They're not
Look up.
working for the salary, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out what they're working for. But anyway,
Okay, by the way, he is now only 3 months old. He's the biggest of them all. There's Calvin. Say hi, Calvin. And by the way, he's bigger almost than his mother. When he's next to his mother, I can't even tell him in the dark. He is a big tomcat.
Chappelle
Wow.
barbecue flavor. Slick Rick says, "Good morning, George and Heidi from San Francisco, California." Yay.
Good morning.
Chosen One says, "Tickets."
Tickets.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, good
Our
morning.
Philippine journey. Good morning, all.
2 tickets to pay.
Pee Wee Barnes in the house. Good morning, Heidi and George.
Good
We are
morning.
here in Angeles City. All right, Pee Wee Barnes
What's
in
going
Angeles.
on? I'm immune. You're immune. You got that right.
Reboot says, "But when you're emotionally invested, you accept and decide what's best for both of you."
You can, but I'm gonna tell you right now that when somebody is sick with the best intentions, best marriage, money in the bank, and everything emotionally, that relationship will be gone. I'm sorry. He's gonna start pushing her away, and I'm sorry, just gonna put it out there, men are big ass babies. Men seem to be so much more big babies when it comes to illnesses. I watched my grandfather be a strong person down to every time he was sick, just seemed like he was really, really, and then just guys don't do pain very well. Not like women, anyways. Yeah. So,
Curtis,
but yeah. So there's just going to be issues with that alone, and then with the financial strain, it's like usually when couples that do push through things, it's usually because not only have they not been through things, but then they have kids they're attached with. There's a lot of other things why they're actually staying together. So you make it through no matter what. And maybe she will stay dedicated, but in time, she's going to be sitting there alone. It looks like their air conditioning broke down, a few months ago. All this stuff, screw that, man. If this AC's gone,
No AC.
I'm gone.
They're
Bye,
sweating.
George.
She's sweating her butt off.
Yeah.
Well,
So
here's another thing a lot of people don't realize. Okay, and we've mentioned in our channel. Now, the age gap is obviously an issue, but what's not just really that obvious. And I do tell Heidi this, and I'm not patting myself in the back or anything when I say stuff like, good luck finding a replacement for me.
that is true.
And what I'm getting at is,
Same here.
no, no, no. Everybody's unique in their own way. But what I'm saying is, not only do they have an age gap, which means a generation gap, meaning she has experiences of a different era than he does. She,
That's another.
associates with a different era than he does. And not only that, it's a different country, it's a different culture. And the reason why I brought this up, not only is it because obvious, because now that he's bedridden or stuck at the house, guess what? That's it. It's just him and her all day freaking long.
And when me and George retired, we thought that was going to be paradise, always being together. And we thought, oh man, that'll be so great. And even with the pandemic, and then we were in Mexico, it gets old, man.
Well,
and
what-
you either totally don't spend time. I know you're supposed to find your own things to do, but when he's actually in the bed and going to need her all the time, that's really going to
Well,
get rough.
what I'm saying too, again, like for example, let's say Heidi, okay? Heidi can bring up any subject, and I can practically, I would say, 85% relate to it and be able to talk about it and converse with you like an intelligent human being about pretty much almost every subject there
and
is.
we do actually.
Right. And what I'm saying is, now I don't know this girl, first off, but
Sure.
in all probability, she's not as well versed as I am with American culture and eras. And what I'm saying is, now that he's bedridden, guess what?
Not everybody can speak really, really good
And
English either.
what I'm
like you
saying is,
can.
when he was able-bodied, there's stuff to distract them from spending time with each other. It's kind of like the C19 event. Remember, a lot of breakups happened during the C19. Why? Because there's nothing to distract them from anything else other than them looking at each other all freaking day.
Mm.
And guess what? That's a big issue, especially if neither
And
of
he's
them
such
can relate.
he's a good-looking guy. I could stare at that all day.
Well, that's the point. Whether they're good looking or ugly or sideways, doesn't matter. Point being is the interaction. If you're stuck with that person all day, that changes the dynamic.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments in here. Somebody mentioned, I'm sure you have a partner that can help you. Here's somebody that said, trying to see. Okay, so this person claims 2 weeks ago at the Chonghu Cebu, I guess that's the other hospital over there, right hip, 59-year-old, and he had a basketball fight. 59 years old, another guy actually had to have surgery. So no insurance, no shortfall, no money, nothing. I took a risk arriving. So he's been here for 12 years. So that means the guy came way before any Social Security, any payments or anything. On this occasion, I'm lucky and came out ahead. Pure luck, not good planning. It says that he paid 650,000, which is pesos. Can you tell me? You got your calculate that for me. Including meds, car, mattress, all these different things, overnight ferries, everything. Something about the parts and everything. Trying to figure how he could afford it if he didn't have any.
Still 12 grand.
650,000. You sure?
12,000
Is it?
dollars.
Seems like more. Which is actually, it's not that bad considering.
That's still a lot.
Well, for the
Out of
Philippines,
pocket.
yes. I'm wondering how he paid for it because he said it was just by pure luck. No insurance, no nothing, and he had no money. So how did he pay for 12 grand?
Well, it could be exaggerated.
I'm just reading through this. I do hope that the guy has a good outcome. 400,000 pesos. How much is 400,000 pesos? Somebody said set up a GoFundMe. Let's get the guy a GoFundMe. It says here, my wife of several years has been
7,200.
wonderful and kind. So he might be lucky. I know I read that once before. He's saying that they've been together for a couple years. He's saying him and his wife, but we'll see in
Well,
time.
like I said, even true love has limits. I mean, it does. It does.
Yeah. Somebody said they're Japanese. I said that is so expensive. So I had both hips replaced. It was 1.2 million in 2019.
Yeah, but I don't know if he has his hips replaced yet. And if they're
Which
not,
one? This guy?
yeah,
Oh yeah, he said no, he can't.
that's
He
what I'm
can't
saying.
afford it.
And that means he's going to be in agonizing pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know that's got
Will
to
they
be.
heal? In all probability, no. At that age, in all
Well, that'll be
probability,
one
no.
hell of a wife if she goes back and tries to find work. But I can't imagine that she would find, she would have to find really, really good job to actually pay for that. It's hard to get ahead here and look for work. We've discussed about getting jobs here. I listened to Gio in the Philippines in his live stream talking
Gio.
about it. He was discussing jobs here and everything. Yeah, it's almost an impossible.
You don't go to the Philippines to
And
work.
he actually did teaching jobs and he had permits and everything to work here, work permits. And it's just hard to get those work permits and to do it legally. So,
Oh, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not being mean or anything. Forget it. It's really,
hi,
like I said, you don't go to the
Wanna come see?
Philippines to
Hi.
work.
Come on. Hi, Rabbit. You want to come
Kurt-
say hi? Show people where you got worked on. There's her work. See her fine work. See, they shave them.
Yeah, she hasn't
So
grown
yeah, we
her
had
hair
the
yet.
vet come in last week, and the girls got fixed. Just we can only get the other kittens can't be fixed yet, but they will. So
Yeah.
mommy was fixed, and
Kurt
she
says
was.
my younger wife doesn't wise up after 8 years.
She might, man.
Well, okay. No, I'm not talking about Curtis. I'm not talking about Curtis. The average, on average, they wise up after 10 years. Anyway.
Pretty much, I was at 10-year point. So George is my
10-year
third marriage.
10 year is the average break
And really, it wasn't. I stayed with the husband that cheated on me, and way after the fact. So, and stayed with him for several years afterwards. And you just go back through these factors, like he wasn't working, he was refusing to work, he had cheated on me. Once he was out of the military, he just, and I know he was going through stuff. He went through a depression and all that. So you stay with people through thick and thin. And I would pray that this will happen for him. But in reality, when I think about it, for me, when I keep seeing them all over, where they're marrying super young spouses and they're coming here with little to no money or income, or what do they call that, repeating income, residual income every month, and all these factors fall on there, then I start thinking about everything, like, there's got to be a level of responsibility also marrying these girls. The man's definitely old enough to be her grandfather almost, and he's marrying a girl now that, now look what happened, and it's a possibility. You're also putting strain on her. So it's just bad business, guys. And he looked like he already had some medical conditions. Yeah. So I don't know. So when I say that, I just got something to say. So I don't get to dance around in a bikini. I get to just speak my mind. Well, I actually can, but you guys always.
I dance in a bikini. I wear the Borat outfit.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, it's it's seen channel after channel after channel, and more they're spilling out this fake nonsense about moving here, and it's nice here, but you can't party all the time. And there's a bunch of these new younger vloggers that are coming out, like I said, the ones off the grid and all this crap, and then a bunch of their girlfriends married the next expat, and then they're talking about, oh, how great it is, and they're going on about this, all dancing around in these bikinis and outfits that are half their size, showing how sexy and beautiful and cheap and how things are here. And then these other expats that are around our age are watching these guys, and they're getting here, and then shit like this happens, or things aren't as cheap as they actually thought, and they can't get over the infrastructure and other things. So it's kind of like a mix of vlogging. And that's why we said you got to watch multiple. And I wouldn't even count on us to them actually coming here. You got to come here and live for a while.
And speaking of infrastructure, we have also said this in our channel several times. Don't rent a 2-story house or apartment.
And that's going to be almost an impossible here. Most of them are.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, we do live in one, so
our
But
plan.
we really don't recommend it.
We have been looking. We're thinking about staying here for a few more years, and our ultimate goal would be to get some of these places a little further out in the country, but still where we can reach things. But we talked about getting like some expats here. They get like two of the places that are like this, kind of like the what I call a duplex looking house, or they got the flat ones, and they're
Right.
side by side. And the new subdivisions are actually building where they got several in a row. And then I said we should just rent two of those
Yeah,
or
and
something.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, and this is
One for
true.
storage and
Yeah.
possibly putting the cats in, and then
For the most part, again, it's the real living space of this place is the first floor. And
it is. Yeah, it's all air conditioned. Most of it's storage in his office upstairs.
yeah, even most
We
of
have
the
the
cats are
balcony.
down here, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, they spend part of the time. But no, if we got two of them, we discussed that. It'd be nice if we could actually get one next door here and then be able to knock the wall through, which we
Oh,
know we can't.
Speaking of renting two of them,
Yeah.
our old neighbors, the laundry people, they rented 2 units.
Yeah. So it's common for
Yeah,
families.
They opened a Star store on the other side.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
they
that would
rented
be an
two apartment
ideal. But they do
complexes.
have the flat ones. And here's the thing, we can budget X amount of money. I already figured that to actually live in them, and it would still be within our
Yeah.
budget. We just happen to like living where we are right now. But I said if we move again, yeah, it can
Yeah.
be, well, we can't just leave the cats in the other side. We probably can, but it would be
Well, you
useless to leave them
can,
on
but
one side. But yeah,
but
we could.
I mean,
There's so
as
many
long as you take care of them,
possibilities.
obviously.
You could, yeah. I mean, there's so many
Yeah, I mean, for
possibilities of
example,
having
like,
two units.
Steve. Hey, Steve. Steve Johnson from our Open Info channel. He rent out 2 units. One he lives in, the other one is his other stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't say what he's doing now, but he used to.
know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
actually, I think
What I'm saying is
There's several.
it's actually something that's because I mean, okay, we're paying 10,000 per month here. 20,000 isn't that much of a stretch for an American, if that makes any sense. So
yeah, no, that's what I said. And
Chosen says I'm immune. I've been to the Philippines too long. Old broke white man should be considered the norm. Yes, it is.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I said it. Feel absolutely nothing for this guy. Ah, damn. He's like,
I
whatever.
agree. It's just starting to get, just like I said, the other one that set me off this week is all these girls and all these channels know each other. They're all on each other's channels. And all of them, their husbands put them on these motorcycles. They post photos. Like this one girl, her entire page is her showing her backside where she's wearing the thong up her bottom, and I'm like, I can't even imagine it. It's just a bad deal.
Yeah.
It is. But in the end, and they've already broke up once, and then he goes and turns around, puts the land in her name, and I was like, I don't know about
Genius.
that. But it's just
Dakota Jarvis says it's Philippines after dark. Tony Man
hey.
says, what does she look like without makeup? Okay, now
And George said, we're good.
think of, okay, I'm not judging her, and again, I don't have a problem with her, nor do I don't have a problem with the guy either. But if whatever ranking, from 1 to 10, what I'm saying is whatever number that you ranked her in your mind, for those of you wondering how she looks like without makeup,
Well, she's a 10 if she takes care of them.
well, deduct 0.5 from the score that you ranked her in. What I'm saying, she really doesn't look that much different. So she's still, pretty good looking, depending on how you look at her, if that makes any sense. The Cat's Life says, wow, she's really such a young girl.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. Thumbs up. Yeah, guys, give us a thumbs up, share and like this channel. Makes Heidi really happy.
Not today, it doesn't.
Yep.
Nope.
Not today.
No, not today.
Yeah.
It was a rough day. Yes, I got a rough day. We should have went to a hotel 12 hours with no power. That was rough. That not again. Never again. Never again. That happens one more time, I'm going to Siberia.
Right.
That was so weird. I seen on the Facebook page that we got rejected for a Siberia Facebook page. I'm like, It's like, what's George been up to? What have you been in there looking at the Russian models there, George? It was weird. It said, sorry, we've rejected your request to be on our Facebook page. I don't know. It was weird. It didn't come in an email either. It was on Facebook. Isn't that weird? Like, when did
It sounds like a
maybe
scam to me.
maybe somebody switched one of their pages because I only signed up for the Philippines.
No, I think it's a scam. I think if you click on the link,
Even on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't. No, I mean it was in the comment. It's not sent through Messenger or anything, so I don't know how it can be sent that way.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just weird.
Slick Rick says he looks like a little bit like Bill Belichick. Hey Jen, hi everyone.
Hey,
Jen
what's
in the
going
house.
on?
Chosen One says, in what universe can a guy get a Filipino like that? Are Filipinos really down that bad? Okay,
that's I'm sorry, that's the first
Chosen
thing
One.
came to
Okay,
mind.
now this is for half of you guys that think this
What
way.
can they even have in
Half of you guys
common?
are thinking that she's obviously has ulterior motives in being with this guy, and that's what Chosen One is saying.
Real quick, is our Philippine journey still in the house? I'm probably about ready to offend him, but not offend him at the same time. Remove his income, and he's still 100 times better looking than this guy.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I do have a special photo
so what
from Mike.
Oh no,
I
you
wanna share
ain't.
with you. No.
Are you no? You're not
Okay.
showing. You can send it to him personally through the email. He found somebody that looked a lot like you. But what I'm saying is that I said that I would never date an older expat or an expat here. I myself am based on love and feelings, and there has to be a lot in common. They got to deal with all my crap. I got to deal with all their crap. You got to really go through everything. And I just can't see what these two had together.
Hold up. There's nothing wrong with age gap relationships. Guys, don't
it happens. Some people are lucky.
Don't knock it till you try it. There's something, guys. If you want to be with an older woman, that's up to you. That's fine. That's true love. You ever heard of what gummies is? You gotta have gummies, man. Just saying. They just pop those suckers out.
Oh, you talking about dating an older woman? Well, yeah, there's benefits there, man.
Yeah.
For their being older.
Talk about suction.
I don't know, but either way.
Tony Manning said, "Oh, dang, Tony, you went there." Tony Manning says, "Big life insurance policy."
I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes, like when me and George was talking about, because this isn't the only one going on. There's another. Again, I'll mention it for those if they just came in. There is a 35-year-old that Gio was talking about that he's broke with no monthly payment. There's been several of them we've read about here recently. It's medical. They lose their pensions. They've lost their Social Security. It's because they didn't have the bank together. And we hear it all the time. Wow. And then you get where you have channels that go through the whole stage of, oh, I'm so tired of people degrading that we have an age gap relationship. And it's just not this other guy that's got the one I was just talking about. But they'll go through this whole thing that, oh, the women in the West or these do that, or it's mostly the other women that complain about our age gap relationship and how people put down that we're in there. But sorry, there's just some real truth in what's actually going on. And I just don't see it. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't see it.
So going back on the Tony Manning thing, is that why you put a life insurance policy on me and then all of a sudden I just fall down the stairs?
Not here, I'm not. I attempted to get one on you, but it doesn't pay out. I'm not paying for no 20 years. You're going to last another 20 years. I'm not putting out that kind of money because the difference is about 10,000 pesos. And I said, no, thank you. I mean, what? Nope, not planning. No, really, there is one, and it's literally, I forgot how much it was. It was 5,000 pesos, and I was like, wait a minute. It's a 10-year policy, not something like a 20-year. So you're paying for 10 years, and then I figured out what they were paying out. I was like, wait a minute. I said, that's literally only like a $200 difference. So basically, it's just a savings account. And that's if the company doesn't close.
Yeah.
Why does it feel extremely hot? So here's the thing. I sat here in absolute horrible heat yesterday. Couldn't breathe, nothing. It's probably, because I don't know. It feels like my skin is on fire.
Reboot at 44 says, but I won't give up my job if I'm her. With an option now, so you can work and take care of a loved one. No, I mean I understand what Reboot's saying is if she can have the option of keeping her job and taking care of him, that's what she would do. Lost in the PH says, "Hey guys, hello, hello. Hey,
I
Lost in
do look
PH.
pale, don't I? I was just in there, yeah, because I was not.
Well, you always look pale compared to me." Um,
hmm
Victoria, good
Amen
morning,
to that,
Heidi,
brother.
and everyone.
Hey,
George
hey,
and everyone.
Victoria.
The Cat's Life says she can take care without stopping her job.
Yeah, no, she already quit. She quit last October before we even had the deal. So
Yeah, our Philippine journey says, keep in mind nobody has no idea what his end of life proceeds will be. He might have a $10 million paid life insurance policy. She might get it if she sticks it out. Dang, our Philippine journey
yeah,
went
see,
there.
I like Mike because
Yeah.
he's got grit and he can talk and conversate and everything else. I don't even know how old Mike or I don't know how old he is, but I know you're older than me.
Broke sick
Oh.
expats are not uncommon here in the
But-
Philippines. No, I mean they come here to retire, as they say in Florida. It's God's waiting,
Waiting room.
Correct. So what I'm saying is,
So is the
and guess what?
Philippines.
Most of them come to the Philippines, so it's Philippines is God's waiting room too. Victoria says, speaking of God's waiting room, hey Heidi, you look tired. I hope you're
I've
okay.
been we went out several times this week and we were at immigration and went to restaurants and was hanging out there. Every time I go out in public and I can't help, I touch everything. George says, and I do. It's like I can't keep my hands. Everything in the store I pick up and put down like a kid. And every time I end up sick, and this time I ended up with something that appeared. What I feel like is I got poisoned by something. So we did eat some things. That's what it feels like, food poisoning, because the last couple of days it's been coming up. I'd say it's just going to be graphic, both sides. So I didn't think I'd make it today, but George went and got me, came back, and he was supposed to be out getting medicine and came back and brought me my Mother's Day to cheer me up. He said, "Oh, come on, I'll make you feel better, do a live." And yeah, I'm here.
Chazima says at least David made it back to the VA. That's my plan as well.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good example. David Campbell, the one that Chosen was talking about. Same thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure even Rose didn't sign up for that, if that makes any sense. As a
Yeah, I
full-time
can't.
caretaker.
That's got to be, and like I said, it could happen to me. Like I said, you put me out of my misery, man. Shoot, I don't know if that like I said, if I told George that's it. If I'm bedridden, I'm done. There's no way I would put you through that. And I don't like you that much, and I still wouldn't put you through that. Like, I think about George, how we can go back and forth and have days that we're upset with each other, which is a normal marriage. People have their thing. And still, you go through the good, you go through the bad. And I still couldn't see on the worst day together or the best days to actually put you through something like that, to be stuck in bed because.
Well, it's the self-destruct mode, and what Heidi's talking about is, and honestly, Heidi does kind of tend to veer towards this. What are you talking about?
The dark
George?
side.
No,
Yeah.
it's not, I'm not talking about dark.
Jumping
It's
over the bridge.
common nature for people destroy their relationships because they don't want to put their loved ones into the trouble of taking care of them.
I think I've been on
So
a path
they
since
would rather burn the bridge of their loved one and push them away rather than have them stick with them and endure the troubles of taking care of them.
which is pretty much the type of person I am, because I was diagnosed with lupus and some cancer when we first met. And I was telling George about the skin cancer that I was having removed. I've had some on my face removed since I've been here. And we went through that, and you were really upset. And I'm like, we had only been together, I don't know, a couple months or something when I mentioned the skin cancer to you. And then it's just, I don't know. I'm just one of those people that stand alone on that stuff. But to actually be bedridden would just be horrible. I couldn't see having you do any of that. I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, again, it's hard to see having your loved one kind of. I mean, you're not blind, you're not stupid. You know that they're suffering because they're taking care of you.
I kind of like that. You like it better when I put it to the side versus it hanging in my face. Looks a little bit more put
probably. Slick Rick says I wouldn't kick her out. Tony Man says I would go out with her for one night, maybe even two. Cam Stewart says good morning. Dakota Jarvis says Montezuma's revenge.
That's it. Devil's
Yep.
Lick Lack.
Melvin says Montezuma's revenge. Correct. Montezuma's
Or
revenge.
the Devil's Lick Lack.
Slick Rick. Montezuma's revenge. Right.
Okay.
Great video game, by the way, in the late 80s. But anyway,
Uh,
Dakota Jarvis in the U.S., you do. It's salary for life. Dakota Jarvis says, and health insurance for life. He's talking about for what happened to him. He technically wouldn't worry about it if he was in the U.S.
Is he from the U.S.?
Yeah.
Because nothing's really technically free. Even the freest insurance that people feel is free. Even if I was just on the straight Medicare and the supplement, you still pay payments on top of that.
Well, especially nowadays. You don't know how it's
I
gonna
mean,
roll
I
nowadays.
was paying $150 with co-pays through the free insurance.
Oh,
It's
Gio
never
in the
free.
house. Good morning,
Hey,
guys. Hey, Gio.
Gio.
How you doing?
What's going on? Yeah, it's your story, and then seeing this new guy that's having that many issues, and he fell down the stairs is the guy we're talking about, and now it looks like he's been suffering since last year, and now he's in there. He was in the hospital, and then that's just sad. It's sad, and I don't think she'll stick around. She quit her job last year, which was, he said she wasn't making that much to begin with, but still, it's still better than nothing. And so her making 5,000 or 6,000 pesos is definitely better than nothing, and probably enough to pay the rent. His last statement is he doesn't have money for anything now. So no rent money, no nut. So then where's he going to go? Here's the thing. Where is this man going to go if they lose their place? So think about it. I just thought about that. He's currently telling people that. That's just I'm perish the thought, because if he doesn't even have money to get back to Australia, that's going to become a real problem.
One of the weird things in the Philippines, and I'm not making this up, it's kind of weird. There are some places in the Philippines where you live under the bridge. And some people are like, okay, that's fine. That's nothing weird about that, right? Well, it's not that it's weird that you're living on the bridge because you're homeless. What's weird is there's actually some form of landlord sometimes, and they charge you rent for living under a bridge.
Did you get bullied when you were homeless and they made you pay them?
Yes.
Street? No, that actually happens. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I get that. So
I had to pay with gummies.
I would force George on the street if we needed money.
What? What? Hi.
Check out my old lady here.
Me love you long time. Big brr. Love you long time. For $2. Me love you long time. Hey, Joe.
Maybe $1.
Want some love long time? Happy ending for everyone. Happy ending for you. Happy ending for you. Happy ending for everybody.
Okay.
Sounds
like my new ringtone.
Victor C. Hey, George. Hi, Heidi. Victoria says it's Mother's Day in Australia tomorrow.
Hey, what's going on?
Sweet Caroline. Hey, guys. Hey, gentlemen. Message us, DM us. And we'll talk to you. Rob Morrison says hello from San Nicolas, Pangasinan. Oh yeah, where's my coffee, woman? Hey,
what?
Where's my coffee?
Dude, it's in the refrigerator. I made iced coffee. I've been.
Oh, there it is.
I told him.
Good woman. Good.
How's that feel? Look like one of them. You remember them caterpillars? Look like that caterpillar, don't I? With the black and orange and stuff. You seen the ones that are black, orange, black, orange?
Yeah. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Joseph Relford. Good morning, guys.
Hey,
Happy Mother's Day
going
tomorrow.
on?
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Oh,
Hillbilly
you ready
broadcaster, Hillbilly broadcaster. So what's going on with the broke expats?
Your phone ringing. Your phone ringing. Big boy, come pick up your phone. How you know pick up your phone? Your phone ringing. Your phone going to go to voicemail. Goodbye.
Thought I would offend some people.
It's hilarious.
Ringtone. 2000% Asian.
For those of you new to the channel, this is actually a real thing. I used to eat at Chinese restaurants, and I would sit on the corner because usually I eat like at lunchtime, but by myself because I'm just going out to eat lunch, and I'm go back to work afterwards. I just sit in the corner, and I usually have like strangers walk up to me and thank me for such a wonderful meal, and
What do you mean they still do?
that I have a great restaurant. No,
They
really,
still do.
they do. They walk up to me and say, thank you so much. It's a great restaurant. You have a good establishment over here. And of course, all I say is, yeah, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Come again. Thank you so much. I mean, what am I gonna do? I mean, am I gonna say, oh, I'm not doing it? No. I mean, it will make things more awkward.
I do that when I'm at McDonald's here.
Yeah. Hillbilly Paro says, boredom makes me spend online. Yes, it does.
It
Yes,
does.
Hey, vlogging life, how you doing? Hi, everyone.
That's something else I think we'll cover. I've got listed as something to cover is luxuries in life, and one of them includes being bored. And boredom you will get when you're not working anymore, and when and you definitely have to fill that. I mean, one of my hobbies is picking on George.
No, it is. Victor C. Oh, God bless all the moms. Yes.
We laugh,
God
it
bless all
hurts.
the moms.
Oh my God, George. He said, you guys, you know how quick he said, yes, it is. Actually, I don't pick on you anymore. I gave up on it.
Right. Hillbilly Power says if you leave what you see online, you're a fool. Anyway, you can get good info online, but need to use your BS filter. Yes, not
Especially in
all,
this day and
especially
age.
nowadays. And
God.
again, I stress this a lot. I know it's kind of overkill. Remember, AI lies. It doesn't lie. According to AI, it doesn't tell lies. It just tells untruths. For instance, for those of you motorcycle fans out there, I ask not the Philippine Neptune motorcycle, the Rusi Neptune motorcycle. I asked what it thinks about it, and it said the complete opposite of what that motorcycle is about. It literally went completely opposite. I'm like, yep.
Mhm.
Point is, don't believe on AI a lot. Use your BS filter because AI does throw a lot of BS. In fact, sometimes I not misspeak. The voice recognition fails and it puts in a different name of the question I'm asking, and it makes stuff up. It just wants to please you. It just wants to give you an answer, whether that answer is correct or not. Anyway, Sperlin Edwards checking in from Lepata Antique. But Macy says, hi, Heidi and George. I was rooting for the Filipino Cardinals to be selected Pope, but I guess a U.S. Pope wasn't the worst outcome.
See this guy, George. I'm surprised he could get in there. It just showed
That's
these.
in
Yeah, it's El
Davao.
Nido. It's El Nido. See?
Oh, Palawan?
Wow. That makes sense.
No, the weight is wrong.
The guys got on an e-trike, and the guys are at least what, 250,
Yeah, the weight is
275.
wrong.
Yeah, one's a bodybuilder. Do you think they cut it so it would drop just for content? Because they handed him a stack of money on the spot. So that was set up.
That's
all right, it's set up content.
That's all
But it showed that two oversized men just got in a trike, and when they drove away, it just broke down on them.
No, that was set up.
So they probably cut it just so it would probably fall. Because
it's easy to do. All you have to do is unbolt it. I mean, it's not that hard to do.
Gotcha.
Sperling says high-rise condos are so small. You need to buy side by side.
There's-
Yeah, he's saying buy 2 units side by side,
Mhm.
and that way you can get your living quarters and storage quarters.
Yeah, because that would be really great because George has the office upstairs. And so that way, if he wanted to set up his painting studio again, and there's so much we could do with 2 units. So instead of getting a place that costs 3 times as much as this, we can get at least 2 of them
Think
at the
about
price.
it, if you're a YouTuber having a separate unit, and
we did talk about
you can do more recording uninterrupted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Harry Walsh, hello, Heidi and George from Deer Park, New York.
Here, 1 second. I got to tell him something. Hey. I wanted to cover it, but I can't see the. But he's been looking for somebody forever.
Air Walsh, Lou, Heidi, George, all from Deer Park, New York.
Oh, and by the way, he's going to pay them 12,000 pesos to 20,000 a month. They've got to join in, and they get to live in the home. And supposedly he'll take them also back to the U.S., which I'm trying to figure out how they would do that part. I guess consider her an employee, but yeah,
No, that's trouble.
according to him, it's not. It's a guy looking to do a threesome and bring in another wife, and he's not Muslim. He just wants to bring her in. So he's been looking for a while, but I was
well,
thinking,
first off, legally, that's hard to do, unless he's Muslim.
oh, look at these. Isn't that cute? Wouldn't that be neat to get one? Interesting.
Hillbilly Paro says I got 4 of my cats neutered for a little over 4K, including meds. Can't be that. Yes, that's about right. That's about right. It's a little somewhere around 1,000 pesos on average. Sometimes I said so. How old are they?
The cats, right now, the kittens are, they're 3 months old, so they're 4, 8, 12 weeks. And then the other one is exactly 5 months, the one with a bobtail Easter. And then mommy's almost a year because she was a kitten outside. So
Hillbilly Paro says my house was a store, 3 floors. It took some work, but it came out nice. Now Thora says,
and by the way, it did cost more for we brought the actual vet in to do the last 2. So their fee is 1,000 to just show up. So
Thora says, hey,
'cause I was just looking at this.
yeah, my guy is 27 years younger than me. I still have my teeth.
There it is. She told you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
no,
going on
no
there?
gummies for him.
George loves gummies.
Thora says, all my life insurance is divided among my children. I'll just get 1 million pesos from my guy to take care of my land when I die. Well, on average, they'll spend from, depending how cheap they are, from 15 to 25,000 to take care of your remains. So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't leave your partner hanging, because that's about average. What, again, depending on how they're going to do it, it runs from 15 to 25K just to take care of your remains. And that's not everything either. I'm just giving you a ballpark figure.
There's somebody dropped photos of Pinatubo. Look at that, where it was up to the roofs.
Oh yeah, it is. Our Philippine journey says Mike says I'm over 65. Well over 65.
Okay. So I did not think you were that much older than me. So no, I just mean that. Interesting question, George. Do you consider yourself a broke expat? I consider myself a broke expat all the time, but live within my means. I'm content. The problem is that Filipinos are money spenders. All right. Well, first off, George isn't an expat. We have had people say that directly. He is Filipino.
Well,
He's not
immigration
dual.
did establish that.
Yeah, but no, he's an actual Filipino, born and raised here. But I do, because at least I have a plane ticket to get home. I still have enough insurance to cover. So if I broke my hip, they will replace it. I have to go to Manila and go to certain hospitals, but I do have some backup plan. We are saving a little bit of money right now. And so you have to have that oh shit money, but I consider myself broke. Yeah. I've said that from the beginning. I'm not trying to keep up with the next person by overspending or using credit cards or anything. And, our income is minimal. So just where it is, we're not totally hurting, but not extremely rich. We don't have 100,000 in the bank or anything.
Yeah. So now,
Are you broke?
no. Now,
Okay.
Now, first off, for some of you who are wondering, I am Catholic, and the reason why I'm stating this
Yes.
is because
What the
heck's going
hell?
on? No, there's a cat there. I see a cat. That's not a mystery. There's a cat.
Who's up there?
I don't know. I see an ear. I can't tell who it is. Okay.
Who's up there?
There's a cat. Yeah. The pantry is not flying off the shelves by itself. There's a cat
Several
there.
cans have dropped during the live stream in the kitchen.
So the reason I mentioned this is because first off, some of you will disagree with me with what I'm about to say. Rip says Trump tariffs are working so well, even the Pope is American made. Joking. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the Pope decision making, again, a lot of you will disagree with me what I'm about to say, that it is a political move on the Vatican's part to pick an American Pope. Just saying, it's obvious. I haven't met a Catholic that disagrees with me. They all think the same thing. Yeah, they did that because of what's going on with the U.S., that kind of stuff. And I'm talking to Filipinos here. I'm not even talking to Americans.
I'm sure the Cardinals inside there was thinking the same thing.
My point is, the Filipinos don't really have a skin in the game, but they can see it. It's obvious to them. It's like, oh, that's why they picked an American Pope, is because
that is so weird, Joseph.
It's a political move.
Yeah, Joseph said, "Can you vote in the elections?" Yes, he can. If yes, will you take money for your vote? That's
no, I cannot be bought. No.
Yeah, no.
First off, for them to buy your vote, first off, you're not.
What is it? For less than 1,000 pesos, you're going to sell your soul
you're,
for 20.
You're lucky if you get 1,000.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you get 1,000. You're lucky if you get 5. On average, they give you 200 pesos. Yeah. On average. So what I'm saying is your integrity is definitely not worth 200 pesos. Your integrity is not worth 500 pesos. Your integrity is not worth 1,000 pesos. It's just not. I mean, come on. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying?
What does that even mean?
Thora says, for expats, stay away from the sun and always protect your skin, please. Yeah, we are closer to the equator. You have a higher probability of getting skin cancer, yes. Lou says, I want a happy ending from George. Me give you a happy ending. Happy ending for everyone.
It's the way they see, I was just seeing this in the news. It says, lead us as a loving shepherd, Philippines. Catholic orders welcome of Pope Leo. Why would they say orders? It's almost like they ordered him to.
Right.
But it's okay.
Billy Fire says, I will be happy when the elections are over and the trucks with loudspeakers blasting music and stop rolling by my house at all hours. Yes, they will do this. And you know what's worse?
In the morning.
You know what's worse than having these election trucks driving around with blasting loud music is driving in front or behind them and you're stuck in traffic. That's worse because you're literally right there with them and you hear this blasting, annoying music. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here and there's nothing you can do about it. Billy Farr says elections here are like in the US, but on steroids. I've never seen so many posters. Yes.
Oh man, for me, I don't think there's as many as there was the first election when I first got here. It seemed like everything was covered. I know they changed some rules. Remember how everything was covered in posters? Probably twice as bad, but I know they changed something. They're bad. But the politician up the road, he turned it on. He turned the truck on at 5:42 in the morning. And he left it running in front of his house. He didn't even leave. It sat there for 20 minutes. And I was like, golly, what's going on? And it's loud. It's deafening. And they had this guy roll by, not even in a trike. It was a bicycle. He was just riding around the neighborhood, kept circling around. And the speaker was so heavy duty, you could hear it 3 streets over. And we're in concrete with the door shut. It's like insane.
Yeah, no, it's loud. That's why I said it's worse when you're stuck in traffic because there you have less buffer with the music.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria says the Aussie might be self-pension superannuation funded. It is. If too young for age pension, 67.
Right, but isn't he supposed to return home every so often?
But yeah, no, that's the age he retired, 67, correct. Not much savings will be a problem. Should go back for free medical. Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah,
They
they've
do
got.
have Medicare.
So I wonder
Well,
why.
not
Maybe
Medicare,
he
but
just
a version of it.
maybe
Yeah.
he couldn't travel back
Well,
at that
obviously
point.
you can't. I mean, you can't even sit.
Mm.
I mean, that's difficult. But yeah, you're right. Now, CBGB says
What'd you do, Calvin?
Mark Thornton always said he wanted his remains to go in the trash, but that isn't legal, is it? Of course not. Of course, that's not legal. Yeah, human remains are human remains. You can't even keep.
No, he just had
Yeah.
his wife illegally dump him in the water
Yeah,
nearby.
you can't even have your ashes in your house. You can have them for up to a year, and then you have to put them up in the cemetery and have it stored there.
What is it?
What's that?
What did you call it? Have it put where?
Cemetery. That's what I said.
Cemetery.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, some words.
There's
He's really
some
cute when he
words I
says
have
it.
an issue pronunciating correct.
Well, what is it? What was that new restaurant? What is it they're going to sell? What was on that plate inside the mall? The new restaurant that's going to open up in a few months.
Asparagus.
Yeah, asparagus.
Yeah. Well, of course, I am foreigner. I'm still a foreigner as far as you guys are concerned. I mean, I speak really good English, but don't get me wrong, I do get
You look
rarely
Asian.
get words, mispronounced. Rarely. Victoria says that was my thoughts too, George, regarding you. Well,
A
yeah,
lot of
no.
people
Again,
feel that could be why. I
it
mean, I'm
is.
sure he's good enough. I'm sure of it, but there has to be somewhere in
No,
the back
his
of
credentials.
some of the other
it's not-
guys'
yeah,
minds that it's like,
it's not a question of credentials. No. But you
yeah.
guys have to remember too.
Even his brother was shocked.
Here's
His
the
brother in
problem.
Chicago
Here's the
was like,
problem with this guy. And again, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking crap about
Calvin,
him
you
by any
rotten kid.
means. But what I'm saying is the problem is you guys have to realize that even the other candidates to be pope are thinking 1,000% exact same thing. Like he became pope because of what's going on.
Someone in the background. Bullshit.
Yes, yes. Oh yeah, I mean,
Can't be nobody.
I mean, priests, cardinals, are human too, and I'm pretty
I
sure
have
they
stinky
think the exact
thinking.
same way.
I get it, but I'm
You know what I'm saying?
sure. I'm sure there were
It's like
people.
it's rigged. I tell you, it's rigged. That kind of deal. Yeah, I mean, of course.
What's that? I don't know.
So
why
what I'm
you-
saying is, there's some. I'm pretty sure there's some. Well, I wouldn't say hatred, but there's some animosity behind the scenes here. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Chosen One
Indian.
says, shout out to American Pope, even though I'm not Catholic. All I know that he is a powerful man that controls 1.4 billion. Yes.
That is true.
Yes. It is a very powerful position. It is a position of power. Thankfully, it's not abused like most people think. Grammy's got her groove on, says, Heidi, you're extremely pale. Please be careful and take care of yourself.
Yeah, I've been tired.
Yeah, why are you? Well, now that they're mentioning it,
Because I've actually been on a lot of extra medicine, but mostly because I haven't been able to keep anything down or out of. It's been bad, so that's why. That it drains. I've been drained from both ends. So Montezuma's revenge. So, but George brought in like Gatorades and that stuff last night. So, but it was 12 hours of just sitting in the heat. I had to actually sit in the shower for a while. It was bad. So, I'll probably end up sleeping. I didn't think I'd make the live, and I thought it would make me feel better. And I do. I feel a little better now, but you even brought me in some breakfast. That was the first thing I didn't.
oh my gosh, that bacon, egg, and cheese hit
Yeah,
the
I ate
spot,
that this
and
morning.
and these are a
Yeah, I
godsend.
still got my pie. Yeah.
These are so good. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of which, probably drink more water.
Yeah. Victoria says not sure right now. Victoria is from Australia. She's actually still there, I believe, right now. Not sure, Heidi, if you have to go back home every 2 years to keep your age pension.
No, the Social Security is not like that. No.
No. She's not talking about you. You asked about him. She's
Well-
answering your question about him. If he has to go back every
Oh.
6 months. She's saying he has to go back every 2 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up to find out.
Yeah, see, they're answering you about your question about him. Heidi, superannuation is just a pension fund, not a government handout. So you don't need to go back to.
There is no connection.
Yeah, there's no connection. Okay. Yeah. So, well, according to Victoria, it's 2 years. You have a 2-year timeline. And again,
So then that must just be the UK is like that. I know the UK you do.
well, Canada, same thing. It's 6 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm just saying. I really don't quote me on this again.
Well, mine's not a Social Security is not a government handout. That also mine is not the low income one. That would be a
Heidi's not
handout.
on the handout disability. No, Heidi's on the.
I mean, I know that's
paid-
not what she's
paid disability.
insinuating.
That's a different
Yeah, it
story
was
and
earned
bracket
from
entirely.
working since I was 15. Yeah,
Correct.
but yeah, no, I get that. So not all of them are. So there's, you know,
Yeah. No. Again. So, but like I said, even love and money, even both have their limits. Think about it. Couples do break up, even at good times. What I'm saying is, both couples are of the same age, of the same culture, and they're both fit. Neither of them are sick, and they break up. And what I'm saying is, you throw in these, you know,
with yeah, I mean the ideal of the live stream today is just the broke expats and not having any plans. And some of these guys don't have any plans. You know, they don't have their money to go back home. They don't have the insurance. They don't have it for the first surgery and nothing. So herein comes the other issue with me is okay, so I have the oh shit money to go home, but what if I broke my hip when I fell out there and fell, was it 2 weeks ago that I fell in here? And so in that case, then I would have to at least go to Manila and I have some insurance that would cover that type of emergency.
Yeah.
Now it's not going to pay for like the upkeep and a bunch of things, but you still have to have some money, some plans, and even the best laid plan, something else could happen.
Yeah.
That's been my biggest worry. So
Now
keep a tube of super glue nearby, man.
All right. Now, about the crowdfunding, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when I'm talking about crowdfunding, for example, he set up a GoFundMe to help himself get himself into the hospital. I honestly don't have a problem with that. Again, if you are in trouble and you need money and you're asking for help, sure, go ahead. If somebody helps you, that's great.
As long as it's legit, not like that white
Thank
creep.
you. That's where I was getting at.
Sat
As
out there
long
talking
as you're
shit
not
and
making
just
up
to hang out.
stuff
Right,
to
just to
get
hang
money.
out and pay your rent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because most of these expats that claim that they're broke and they're down in their luck, they're sick, they're making
They've
stuff
been out
up.
vacationing
Correct.
and they just bought a place, and there's other things that usually go along with it. And then you're
And they
like,
post about it.
yes, and they've
It's
been
one thing if they
posting.
don't. What I'm saying is, if there's no receipts to show, I get it. What I'm saying is, okay, he's kind of quiet. He's not posting anything. He's posting just messages or the usual reposts. I get it because he's stuck at home. He's sick. That kind of stuff. But no, some of these expats claim, oh, they're sick. They need money. Go to their GoFundMe, and they're out like eating at nice restaurants, traveling to Philippines, going to resorts.
Like that, which reminds me of that other expat that was just on Rafi Tulfo and all that. Found out he had that GoFundMe set up for adopting his previous kids. It still existed. And by the way, he did marry that girl. For those that didn't see the Rafi Tulfo that we showed a couple weeks ago, I don't think it's been even a couple weeks ago, but he broke up with his girlfriend, found out that he wasn't the father of the baby. And come to find out, we found out he had the GoFundMe. One of the viewers actually told us, and we looked at it during the live, but he did marry that girl. He wasn't even with her for 60 days and he married her. So they've been showing themselves all over the place. But also he was saying how he also was having issues and stuff. But who knows? Hey, Mary. So how'd you get that all highlighted?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how I did. It says I'm not sure if they have to go back every so often without checking. CBGB says lots of people assume they want to live past 70. They won't live past 70. But surprise, many people live longer and they do need to spend more on help and assistance. So say, well, again, it's doesn't take a genius to figure out the older we get, the more assistance we require. And I'm not being mean.
It's scary.
Even I always say, whenever somebody talks crap about an older person, I always say you do realize you'll get there.
Yeah, man, it ain't no fun, man. It's
Right.
no fun.
And like I said, I mean, at a younger age, I did a lot of insane stuff. I wouldn't dare to do even half, not even a quarter of the stuff I did, because I know if I did do that, I'm in serious trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of deal. Again, there's no problem again with this guy asking for a GoFundMe to help him out first, because I really do think he is in trouble. I really do think that this guy's not posting stuff that he's on vacations or anything like that. He's just
And he
keeping
keeps
to
his
himself.
woman off there. He's got her on there some. There's only a few photos, but he's
Right. It's not a thirst trap channel. He's not a thirst trap Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So we know he legitimately needs help. So be aware that that's how we feel. And again, um, do I feel that she's in it for the right reasons? I hope she is. And again, I really hope she will stay. And I really hope that again that he will recover and hopefully he'll get enough funds either to get home to Australia and get it taken care of or have it taken care of here, which now that you guys mention it's probably cheaper to buy a plane ticket
he could
and
get so irritated, where he's just sitting around feeling depressed. Because when you're sick, you do get depressed.
it makes you
I do
worse.
just from being sick all the time. It's unavoidable when you're just not feeling good all the time. He may, no matter how bad the pain is, find a way to make it back, even if it's uncomfortable, so he can. But who knows if he's got somebody to take care of him back there? Why that becomes the issue.
Right.
So
So again, like I said, I pray for this guy and hopefully he will recover and everything's great for him and his wife. Dana Jones says George looks like he's running for political office in the Philippines. Yes. Yes. Vote for me. Yes. Vote for George 2025. Me love you long time. Gummies for everybody. Happy ending for everybody. Love you long time. Love you long time.
yeah.
Vote for George. Yes. All right. So CBGB says I got too old to defuse landmines. I'm too clumsy.
Oh,
Right. Okay, that's that. Okay, that's one way to say it. Yeah. Right. I mean, again, there know your limits. Know your limits, guys. Again, it's kind of like, for example, in the U.S., I skateboarded everywhere. Literally, I would never dare do that here. Know your limits. I mean, even Tony Hawk might not make it alive if he skateboarded in the Philippines, on the streets. Put it that way. I mean, you can do it on a skate park. Yeah, it'll be fine. But what I'm saying is, even Tony Hawk, if he skateboarded down the streets, which I did in the U.S., he wouldn't make it out alive. Put it that way. Know your limits. Know your location. Know where you're at. Know that this is not your home turf anymore. So always make sure you have some sort of money, some sort of backup plan, something. Like Heidi always says, keep money in the bank enough for a plane ticket home so you can get
at
medical
least.
attention.
No matter what it is, especially when it comes to those that are dating and different things, because a lot of these guys give up everything. I mean, they like lose their minds and
No, no,
stuff.
they will sell
And then,
everything. They will sell their mother just to get to the girl. I'm not
mhm,
joking. I'm not
yeah, so
joking.
that's become an issue.
Right.
So
It's kind of like, I mean, I know some of you say, "Oh, it's desperation for the girls," but you have to realize it's a two-way street. It's desperation for the guys too, for the most part,
hmm,
unfortunately.
yeah.
You know,
Desperate is a two-way street.
correct. And again, it's not just guys; it's also girls. Because remember, you know, it. I know we just say guys for the most part because that's what's usually highlighted, what everybody sees. But be aware that you can be a woman looking for a guy, and you'll find a Filipino online like Thora. You know what I'm saying? It does happen, more often than you guys realize. So same thing. You can be a girl looking for another girl, or a guy looking for another guy. Be aware that the dynamics don't change. We're all human. It doesn't matter what sexuality your sexuality is. humans is humans, people is peoples. You know what I'm saying? Money is money. Always save. Always save. Okay, and
Look at that.
always be nice to your partner. Okay, because again, someday you might get into an accident, and they'll. I mean, for example, you might be end up like, God forbid, it'll happen to you. You can be end up like Stephen Hawking. You know what I'm saying? And then what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Point being is you don't know. We don't know. Even I don't know. I sometimes worry about my health and what would happen if
Mhm.
something happens to me. And
Yeah, I mean, we still have the point with you being with you being a Filipino here, same thing.
Right.
I
I'm
mean,
not
yeah, you
exempt.
can fall right. You can fall back on Phil Health. You will get your Social Security, but if you have to use that, then you'd have to go back to the United States. And right now,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
another
a
side of the coin too.
good place to go as a foreigner now. Right now, so
Depending on your Filipino, if your Filipino is the one that goes out, like for example, me and Heidi, I'm the one who always constantly goes out. I'm the one who goes out and buys stuff like that because only because I know the area. What I'm saying is, you may be with a Filipino that rides on their scooter and drives around town, and you know how dangerous that is.
no, I worry. I'm pretty sure, regardless, I'm going to be, well, at least I'm making plans. So these other expats rely on their woman so much. They don't, not all everybody like Geo's super independent, but a lot of them do rely like really bad. Like when was at the immigration office, we ran into a guy that was railing his girlfriend, like, or wife or whoever. Well, it had to be his wife. He was there for his 13A, but he was really being nasty with the immigration people. He was being nasty with her and telling her, well, just fill it out and you should know this information. And he was just being nasty with her and stuff. And I'm thinking, this is a guy that probably solely relies on her. And if something happens to her, then he could be in trouble. So you have to figure to do things. So, I mean, a while back, I'm like, well, if George falls down the stairs, then I got to find a way to get things done.
Yeah. Now, Dana Jones, I'm not going to put up your comment, but to answer your statement, guys, be aware that when somebody gets ex-nayed here in the Philippines, as in pew pew, there's three reasons why it happens. One, somebody's cheating. That's one of the reasons that can get you pew pew in the Philippines. Okay. Two, you're political.
Mm.
You're a political figure or associated with a political figure that could get you pew pewed. Okay. And
Passionate
then
is the
three,
first.
well, that's the first one. Yeah,
Yeah.
the cheating one, passion, right? And then the last one is theft, like burglary. If you refuse to give them something and you give them flack, you start fighting them instead of
It's
giving your
usually at
money.
the bottom
That's
of the
when you get
list.
pew pew, right? But point being, it's never random, guys. Whenever there's a random pew pew here, it's never random. It's usually political, and that's what Dana's talking about. Sean says another factor is being able to access your funds. Yes, good point. There now, for instance, we have currently one, two, three, four, no, four, three, four bank accounts. Yeah, we have four
Well,
bank
forward
accounts.
access money,
Right.
yes.
So we don't put your eggs in one basket. We have multiple bank accounts just in case, and they're all separated. So in case something goes down, we have a backup plan.
And
Okay?
I wouldn't always shut your Philippine out. Like a lot of these guys, you'll hear them give advice that, oh, don't ever put your woman on the account. And well, if anything, make sure there's a way for her to access some of the money in case of an emergency like that. Like if you're down and they can't get to a bank or they can't do with the card or anything, she still needs access to be able to help you. If you don't have that much trust in her, then you guys probably shouldn't be together to begin with. So, in other words, if you're feeling that kind of way, then I wouldn't be, but I'd make sure at least there's another account where she's able to help you in case something goes down.
Yeah. Now Thora, USA to Bohol, she says she wasn't looking for her Filipino partner. It just ended up that it was her coworker.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, Jenlyn again about Geo will DM us and we'll talk about it. Chosen One says,
Wait a minute. She asked again. Was that a second time she asked?
yes, yeah,
Oh, wait a minute.
yeah, that's what I said. Messages.
Well, that's
Chosen One says, what are we talking about? All right. Chosen One says, what are we talking about? Let's talk about important things like the Diddy trial. Now, the Diddy trial, the interesting part about the Diddy trial, that, okay, obviously they're subpoenaing.
no, that's her being a smartass, George. I hope you know Geo just says the hello to draw the viewers to she's channel or her channel.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't get your reference there, Jenna Lynn. I mean,
Okay,
what's the
well,
problem?
anyway,
I don't get the.
yeah. Now again, they're subpoenaing Beyonce for the trial.
Oh yeah, that's
For
getting
obvious reasons.
interesting.
That part is obvious. I mean, why they're asking Beyonce. Now the weird part is they're asking Mike Myers to show up in the trial as a witness. That's the weird part. Now, the reason being that, well, Beyonce again, it doesn't take a genius to figure out why she's being subpoenaed. But Mike Myers, the weird thing is why he's being subpoenaed is because during the Austin Powers movie, when
that's
Mike
right.
Myers was falling off the ladder and he, to stop himself from falling, he tugged on Dr. Evil. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with Mike Myers, Austin Powers. Mike Myers was Austin Powers, which is the hero, and Dr. Evil, which is the bad guy, the antagonist. He plays both roles. So when Mike Myers was falling off the ladder, he latched on to Dr. Evil and then accidentally pulled down his pants. When he pulled down his pants, for some strange reason, Dr. Evil, aka Mike Myers, has Dee Dee tattooed on his butt, and it's on the movie. I mean, obviously
Okay,
it's a
so-
joke, but obviously it's an inside joke, which is really weird. It's like only they understood that. I mean, nobody would have understood that. You know what I'm saying? But for some strange reason, they did put it in the movie. So
So-
now they're subpoenaing Mike Myers.
That's weird though.
Well, it's weird that it's in a movie. It's in Austin Powers when he accidentally pulled down his pants.
Well, hasn't he been found at the parties? I thought they had him listed on the list.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, didn't they have Myers listed for Epstein Island?
Well, remember everything's alleged, and that's
We're saying
how.
alleged.
That's how. No, what I'm saying is that's how they're presenting it. They're all at alleged stage right now. So, no, Yumi Mango. Can I use line skates in the Philippines or sidewalks or streets? No, you cannot.
Very little.
You are asking for trouble, and I'm not talking about like trouble as in like fights or anything. I'm talking about unless there's certain parts, for example, in Angel City, there is a skate park
Mary, leave the kitten alone.
available to you in Clark where you can ride your skates. And that's the only place I recommend you to ride your skates at. The reason being is, again, for example, in the US, I rode because I had several vehicles and I dropped off my cars to the mechanic on a regular basis, but they're about a good 2 to 3 miles away from home. But I rode my skateboard home on the sidewalk, even though there's little pebbles and everything. So I rode my skateboard home, and then when I pick up the cars, same thing. I rode my skateboard to the mechanic.
Yeah, it was easy.
Right.
To do it
And
that
and
way.
Heidi knew this because she even asked, "Do you want me to pick you up and drop you off?" I said, "Nah, don't worry about it. I'll just ride my skateboard." And Heidi knows this. But what I'm saying is you cannot do that here because the roads are very messed up. There are no right roads. The roads are so bad that if you're riding skates or riding a skateboard, you will your wheels will catch on a crack or hole or big rock, and you're gonna flip. So do not do that, please. Because honestly, I was thinking about buying another skateboard last month, and I was like, no, that's suicide. Chosen One says Gio said he's not getting married again on his live. Gio would be the first person to get married. Gio is not built for this bachelor life like myself. Married people typically need to be always be. Oh, okay, okay. Now that's actually I kind of agree. What you know how there's always the forever bachelors and there's always the ones that are always somehow always married. The same thing.
Yeah.
Remember, because the bachelor mentality is a bachelor mentality.
Mommy.
It doesn't matter who you're with; it's the way you think. Same thing with people who are in long committed relationship. It's the way they think. So again, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It depends on how you look at it. Um, for instance, honestly, I really think that Heidi's gonna be my forever.
Oh, you think?
She's
That's what kind of.
okay.
Yeah, I
If you
mean,
guys pay attention, I always keep my statements open ended because I can't predict the future. So what I'm saying is, I always believe that Heidi will be my forever, and I don't have a doubt in it.
same here.
But a bachelor type would be like, man, I should go out and find somebody else. That kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? The mentality is different.
Yeah.
Um, and again, there's nothing wrong with living the bachelor life. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, there's a lot of pluses on it. The problem with the bachelor life is you kind of, I don't know. It's not for me. Victoria says if the Aussie dude is broke, could that mean he ain't paying his visa? Oh, good point. Probably why he can't leave either. You're right. Hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's probably happening
That's
now since
yeah, that's probably happening
last
now.
October.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, it's possible that he's forgoing his visa to save some money. And remember, you have to show up at immigration. And because of his condition, he probably wouldn't. I mean,
Well, we don't know. They've been together for several years, married. He might have a 13A. So kind of like
right?
me
We
now.
don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
his situation. Right.
So
But
now
it's
I'm just
possible.
waiting to pick up my card. So with permanent residency, I can now, the only thing I have to do now is once a year, there's an online interview now to do the yearly um, interview that they have where you do the reporting. But it's possible he may not be on a tourist though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Jen says, I have to get going. Hope you have a good evening. Bye, Miss Jen.
See you later.
No, well, now be aware that again, I only brought it up because again, like Yumi Mango says, can you skate in the Philippines? What I'm saying is, you have to be aware where you're at. Chosen One says everybody's on the verge of death in the Philippines, and George is talking about a skateboard.
Right.
Well, no. Again, remember, it's an analogy of something so simple, and yet it's a drastic change. Again, like simple as skateboarding or rollerblading, because I do all three. I rollerblade,
Yes,
I
I see you,
skate,
Mary.
roller skate, and then I skateboard and I mountain bike too. Um,
Say hi, Mary.
but for the most part, those are all different when you do it here. For example, mountain biking, it's very dangerous because of the cars and motorcycles. Motorcycles will hit you, and if a motorcycle hits you while you're riding your bicycle, you can go. You know what I'm saying? Who's that?
I have no idea.
Who's that pretty puppy? Hey, Mary. This is Mary. This is Mary. She's a sweetheart. She's a big sweetheart. She's a good girl. She's a real good girl. Most of the time.
Well, yeah, when she's not chewing on the kittens.
Well,
She has a
those
party.
are
Her
yes.
chew
That's
toys.
it. Hey, cutie Mary. Yes, that's how her name is spelled. Yes, Mary. Yeah, yeah. For Merry Christmas, correct. She's a Christmas puppy. Yes.
Yeah, that's enough there, Mary.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. As you guys can see, she's very gentle, and she loves the kittens. She used to carry them by the neck. She still tries to, but they're getting really big for her now.
Yeah, so now she just pins them down like a chew toy. But you have to tell her stop. She lets them go. But
Yeah.
her and the bigger one we call Tweety, the calico, they were just running back and forth. They'll wear each other out. It's about their nap time. So yeah. No, they're just having fun playing. So
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. We love you all. Say your goodbyes. For those of you in the room, say your goodbyes now, and we're gonna be saying ours. Thank you so much, Chosen One, for being with. Oh, Chosen One, I was playing Call of Duty World Championship with a guy named Chosen One. I'm pretty sure it's not you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'd be talking more. Jen, thank you so much, Jen, for being with us. Our Philippine journey was with us today. Mike, and also was with us today. Gio was with us today. Thank you so much, Gio. Appreciate for your support. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much, Billy Paro. Thank you so much, and of course, Joseph Relaford. How you doing,
Joseph,
man?
Joseph Lou.
Thora, of course,
Hey,
Thora.
Thora.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Harry Walsh. Hey, Harry. Philip Macy, Sperlin Edwards, Victor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
And
We
Jen
love
was
you
in
all.
the house. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
See you guys
Hey,
in a few
hey, Kitty Mary,
days.
Lou. Thank you, Lou. Bye, George and Heidi. Have a great day, weekend. Stay safe. All says Victoria. Slick Rick. See you later. For USA to the whole life. Yes. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Till the next stream. Mary says bye. Heidi says bye.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, David Cardona. What's it? Hey guys,
Bye,
I'm here in Kuala Lumpur. Bye guys. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Bye.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Bye, Sean.